Further. Faster.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Carefree Black Nerd Podcast. I am your host, Rain Coleman, and we're coming at you with somewhat of a part two, maybe a companion piece, maybe an extended conversation. This is the second installment of the Carefree Black Nerd, the Marvels review, discussion, etc. And I have someone with me today, a voice that longtime listeners should be familiar with, but just in case you ain't, please introduce these wonderful people to this fantastic voice and presence that is blessing the mic with me today.
It's Hey Dee Sweets and on other places. Former podcaster, not coming back to that shit, even if you paid me. Actually, that's a damn lie. If Spotify want to give me a bag, I'll happily come back and talk all kinds of shit. But yeah, that's me. Hey.
Well, we are happy to have you back. Okay, y'all. So by this time, if you're watching this, listening to this, you should have already heard the first review. It was a solo review of the Marvels. Very quick overview of how I felt about the film, pretty broad strokes. But now that I've sat with it for quite some time, I'm ready to get into a discussion. So let's start off things with the movie itself. So Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel, has reclaimed her identity from the tyrannical Kree and taken revenge on the Supreme Intelligence. However, unintended consequences see her shouldering the burden of a destabilized universe. When her duty sent her to I don't know that word. This word of Wormo, linked to a Kree revolutionary, her powers become entangled with two other superheroes to form the Marvels. All right, let's get right to it. The Marvels, the Marvels. What are you feeling? Give me some general thoughts after seeing this movie.
Um, the movie itself was cool. I mean, there's really not much to say about it. I mean,
Yeah,
fucking Nita Costa did her goddamn thing. She
did.
worked with what that she worked with what Feige and them gave them. It
Mm-hmm,
was a good movie, man. I'm still gonna buy the damn steel book when it drops. But
okay.
folks who didn't know about this, the blessing that is the actress who plays Miss Marvel, if they're not
Mhm.
knowing about her already, they sure as hell know now. And that was
Yes,
my main reason for being there. I mean, also for Tiana Paris too, because
yes,
she's
yes.
amazing. But Miss Marvel is one of my favorite comic book characters of all
Okay.
time, along with Miles Morales. So when they
Mhm,
said they were going forward with this, I was happy as hell. Love the
good.
first season. Hope it gets another one.
Mhm,
I want to say
good.
other things, but I gotta wait till the end
Okay.
because I'm really excited for something that was hinted
Hey,
at.
hey.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, the movie was good. My issue is why are y'all letting AI control your planet?
See, yeah.
That it felt like a sneak diss to well, maybe it wasn't intended to be a sneak diss, but the fact that your AI is ruling your planet and your planet can't function without it. Um,
Mhm.
it felt like a shot at CEOs. I might be reading into it. CEOs who want to, bring AI into the picture. They're still trying
Yeah,
to bring that shit to the picture, even with that fucked up deal that I hope
yeah.
doesn't pass.
Miss Marvel is Iman Vellani. I've been calling her Imani, and I feel
Man,
like crap. I'm sorry, young lady.
it's all right. It's all right. I'm sure she won't mind. She probably
Yes,
will mind. Who
indeed.
am I talking about? But
Oh no.
yes,
What's that?
goddamn MVP of the movie of the MCU. Just
Mhm,
of everything, MVP of everything. Gosh darn it,
mhm.
give
No,
her all the
truly,
things.
she is she's the heart. The girl has charisma. She's I don't know, she just has really done it for me. She was truly the heart of this movie. I enjoyed her down. I enjoyed her every single scene. I already liked Miss Marvel, so I knew I was gonna like her in this, but this
Hmm.
most certainly did it for me. And like you said, if you didn't know about Iman before, you know about her now. Despite
Hmm.
all the bull going on with the contrarians who don't want to like this movie because of what it is, she's going to be here. She's going to be here, and
Yeah,
I'm pretty certain she's going to be right up there with Peter, if not, doing her own
yeah.
little
She
Iron
got next
Man
up.
Nick Fury adjacent thing.
She got
Um,
next up. So y'all need to just get used to that shit. She got
yes,
next.
indeed. Yes, indeed. Okay, so let's do the road to the Marvels. So before really diving into the movie itself, we're coming up off of three projects that this is essentially the sequel to. Though it is, from my understanding, a Captain Marvel like official sequel, it is also a sequel to Miss Marvel and also a sequel to WandaVision because we haven't seen
Hmm.
Monica since WandaVision. So let's just dump into all of those projects, mix it up. Captain Marvel, WandaVision, and Miss Marvel. Now that we've seen the movie, and it's in our minds, we see what the end result is. How do you feel about the road to the Marvels? Do you think those characters were handled well? There were room for improvement. What's your thoughts on
Um, mm,
it?
trying to think how, because eh, it's the first Captain Marvel movie, man. Even though it made a
Hmm.
billion, it's it wasn't my favorite.
Okay, that's fair.
Um, I I think that might have to do more with the direction
Mm,
and
okay,
not the
okay.
folks involved, because again, everybody was working with what they got. Um,
Hmm.
which is why they didn't bring them directors back.
So, what is there something that you can pinpoint, like for yourself, that had you have been given Captain Marvel, you would have changed or done differently?
I don't know if I would change anything, but I would put
Hmm.
it like this. With Best Buy currently having a sale on steel books.
Hmm.
If I had to choose between Captain Marvel and Thor Love and Thunder,
Yeah.
I'm buying Thor Love and Thunder,
Okay. Okay.
which is actually I just bought that shit not too long ago because it's $20 for the steel book.
So you biased. So you biased then. That's what I'm hearing. No, I just no, that's cool.
No,
No,
it's
I
like it's just certain movies like, yo, I don't know what I would change. I don't know what I would do different. All I know is
hmm
that I watched it once. I'm in
and it
no
wasn't
rush to get back to it.
no, I
Yeah.
think that's fair.
The problem was not with the cast. As much as
Hmm.
these hating ass bitches want to make you think that, it was not the cast. The cast was not the problem. The script, no, script wasn't a problem. Music wasn't a problem. It was just the direction for me.
Hmm. Okay, that's fair.
I
That's
mean,
fair.
this was the same team who directed what was it, Little Miss Sunshine?
I think so, yeah.
I think. Yeah, I like Little Miss Sunshine for what it was, but that's also another
Hmm.
movie that I watched once and I will never
Yeah.
go back to. I'm good on that.
I mean,
So
that's fair. That's fair. That
yeah.
is fair.
So that's
Mhm.
my main issue with that movie continues to be the directors.
Mhm.
And
That's
if
cool.
they're
Well,
listening to this and y'all want to talk to me about it, y'all can see me on the street. No, I'm kidding.
oh no, get them
No,
out,
I'm
get them
kidding.
outside.
I'm
How about
kidding.
that?
I ain't fighting nobody.
No,
I ain't fighting nobody. But
look.
I'm gonna have much more to say about the other two projects when you
Okay,
get your thoughts out.
okay, cool. So with that in mind, I see. I haven't revisited Captain Marvel, and not for any reason in particular. I just ain't really, to be honest. I have not really been feeling Marvel or anyone for quite some time. Like this movie, a credit to this movie or a testament to this movie is that while watching it in the theater, and I'm going to be real dramatic, but it's not too far off from how I felt. It's like being a kid and seeing, like, I don't know, you in the 90s and you seeing a Disney movie for the first time. Like it was very, I was like, okay, I didn't really give a damn about a lot of Marvel stuff, but this reignited my passion or thoughts and ideas about Marvel, about the MCU. And I am not putting on because, oh, I like the movie, I just want to ride for it. No, like I truly, while sitting in the theater, I'll tell you when it happened for sure. The whole movie was fun, but that first
Mhm.
fight scene, that's what got me. And so that being said, I haven't revisited Captain Marvel, and I wanted to go back and see the movie again, but watch. see the Marvels again, but watch Captain Marvel, watch maybe the last 3 episodes of WandaVision, and then watch like the a couple episodes of Miss Marvel, and then watch it, and then like see if I felt differently. But to your point, I may need to revisit Captain Marvel independently just to see how I feel because I enjoyed it. But now listening to you, I'm thinking I know there was some things that I wasn't 100% happy with, and a lot of that came down to like the Kree scroll memory stuff.
Mm,
But I Lashana Lynch being in that movie really did a lot
mm-hmm,
for me that if she had not have been in that
mm-hmm,
movie, may not have. You know what? Oh
mm-hmm,
man. Okay.
mm-hmm.
So
Well, not just her, not just her. I agree.
mhm.
Um, I mean, fucking Coulson being back
Mhm.
because Coulson, um, and is it Ben Mendelsohn? Is that how you pronounce his last name? Mendelsohn?
I think so. I'll
I
check
probably
that.
butchered it, but that was the motherfucking MVP of that goddamn movie for me. Cause I
Mhm.
just love that
Mhm.
actor. I will watch whatever the fuck he's in, and he's probably the only reason why I stuck with. Well, no, not the only reason.
Mhm.
Are we gonna talk about Secret Invasion at all?
We can. Now, I'm going to give you the caveat that I have not watched past episode 2, but don't let that stop you from
Ooh,
spoiling 'cause I don't
I'm
I
not gonna
don't.
spoil it for you. I'm not gonna
It's
spoil
a
it for
good
you
movie.
because I don't.
It,
I know you said you could. I still people can tell me, go ahead, spoil it away. Like, no, I don't do that. Brief, like the brief story. Brief story.
okay.
It was the weekend that Alien 3 came out in theaters,
Yeah.
and like we were heading to the theaters. Like it's me, my grandma, my piece of shit uncle, and I think somebody
Oh,
else. No, fuck that nigga for real. Anyway, we're going to the theater. Now, either I
yeah.
must have said something that pissed him off, or he just felt like being a dick.
Oh no.
Before we even get to the goddamn theater, he ruined Alien 3 for me.
That's
Like, hey,
crazy.
Ripley dies. Like,
That's
word?
crazy. That
Like,
is
word?
crazy.
Okay. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is
Plague on your
wild.
house.
Yes. Because how dare you,
Hey, man.
motherfucker?
Yeah. So ever since then, I don't like being spoiled and I don't like spoiling movies for folks. So even though
Yeah.
you say you can go ahead and spoil it, I'm not gonna do it.
What?
I will say
Mm-hmm.
there was some like chef's kiss to the writer. There
Yeah.
was some black ass moments in that show, man.
Yeah.
There
Well,
was
tell me
some
this
black
then.
ass moments. Like there's I felt like Rhodey and yeah, like fucking Samuel L. Jackson
Mhm.
and Don Cheadle got to show the fuck off and act their
Yeah.
ass off. Was it episode 2 or episode 3? Probably both of those. Like one of
Mhm.
those, probably both of those episodes, they were acting. So
Yeah.
I'd say watch it for that. The rest of the show, I don't blame you.
Mhm.
I know a lot of people
Yeah.
tuned out. I know some folks weren't happy with it. I'm like, hey, I went in there not having my hopes up in the first place. It
Mhm.
is what
Mhm.
it is.
No, that's fair.
If yeah, if Marvel wants to sell the steelbook for that, I will buy it.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, you tell me this because I don't know because of I didn't watch Secret Invasion. Do we know where this falls in continuity? Is it after
See, this is the
or is
fucked up
even that a
thing.
spoiler? Mhm.
Yeah, this is the fucked up thing. Um, for folks who haven't seen Miss Marvel yet, I mean, oh no, haven't seen the Marvels yet, and are wondering if you need to watch Secret Invasion, no, the fuck you don't.
Damn. Okay.
And this must be, I don't know whose fault it was.
Mhm.
Maybe some continuity got mixed up, or
Yeah.
maybe the director was just, who was another director in the MCU was like, you know what? No, I'm just gonna do my own fucking thing.
Mm,
I forget, or was that DC? I don't
mhm.
know. There was a point where it just felt like the show and the movies
Yeah.
just weren't
Oh,
meshing and
yeah.
whatnot. So yeah,
Mhm.
somebody fucked up on that part. I
That's
don't want to
crazy.
say it was the director because I'm not here
Mhm.
to bash black women. Fuck that. Mm-mm.
Yeah,
But somebody messed up because
yeah.
yeah,
My thing was after I watched it, because there are a bunch of projects that I have not watched. That watching this made me think, oh, I should have watched Loki season 2. I should have watched Thor. I should have watched Secret Invasion, and there was one more.
and
I
that's
was
the
like,
cool
oh,
thing.
Guardians of
You
the
don't even
Galaxy.
you don't have to watch any of them joints for this
Really?
at
Well,
all. At all.
okay.
The only thing I'd
Okay.
say you should watch before watching the Marvels is Miss Marvel, just to
Mm,
get a heads up on Miss Marvel. I mean,
yeah.
or or WandaVision,
I don't even think
which
you need to see WandaVision because
well
when Monica
you kind
introduced
of do.
herself, oh, yeah, well,
Well,
is
okay,
it?
you first, bro.
No, no, go ahead, because I ain't gonna forget mine. Go ahead.
I would say the episode where we see what happens to Monica
Monica.
Rambeau. What was it,
Yeah,
episode 3 or 4 of
it had to be.
WandaVision? Yeah, one of
Mm,
those episodes. Watch that episode before watching Miss Marvel, because then they'll just tell you everything. Well, that and how many episodes were there in WandaVision? Was it 6 or 8?
I thought
Was it eight
6. I
episodes?
thought 6. If it was 8, it may have been because they were like 20-minute episodes. But I thought it was
Yeah,
6.
because
I
we
think
got what the first two right off the bat when it premiered.
yeah. So
So
it probably was 8. It probably was 8 then.
yeah, I'd say watch the episode where you find out what happens to her character, and then episode 7.
Oh, it was actually 9
Yeah.
episodes.
Oh, was 9 episodes?
Yeah, it was 9.
Nice.
Um,
Okay, not 7. 7 or 8. I forget when she walks through the hex. That was episode 8, right?
I think it was 7 because she remember they were like doing tests on her, and then she like went back into the hex, and then the
Yeah.
series finale 9, she was protecting them little badass kids.
Yeah.
I think it was yeah, because it was Halloween. I don't know shit. That was 30 years ago. We said,
Yeah.
um, yeah, no, no, I think you're right as far as that episode. Sure, my only thing was, oh, she told you in a couple sentences what happened, but I do think if you have not seen
Yeah.
WandaVision, that episode would give a little bit more context to
Yeah.
this.
And plus
Yeah,
it just and plus I think everyone should watch WandaVision anyway if you haven't already. It's one of the best goddamn shows, not just in the MCU. I think
hmm
television period. Like it's still
yeah,
my number 3 next to
hmm
season 1 of Loki and season 2 of Loki, which is my number 1 now. After that series,
interesting,
yeah, after that
interesting.
season, I kind of want to call it a series finale because it kind of it feels like Tom Hiddleston has been hinted at that. Like I had a good run, and
hmm
so it kind of felt like a series finale, but who knows? But
We'll see. I'm gonna check it out because I ain't started yet.
yeah.
I'm gonna watch season 2, at least start it
Oh,
and see what's what.
okay, good. I didn't spoil it for you. I didn't. Good. I didn't spoil it.
I ain't gonna tell you what else I didn't watch, so you could spoil something by accident. No, I just
And I will be buying. I will be buying WandaVision in a couple weeks because these are
yeah,
some good ass
WandaVision.
shows.
That
Yeah.
was just damn good. That truly is good TV, good program. It made me feel the way Phase One did, as far as like you're taking the toys you have in your toy box and you're doing something fresh and new with them. And that's how I
Yeah.
felt. That's how I felt with WandaVision. Okay.
Uh,
So then I guess let's slide to Miss Marvel really quickly. I guess.
mm.
How do you feel like if you had to pick one of the three, Captain Marvel 1, WandaVision, or Miss Marvel to prepare somebody for this movie, which one of those three are you telling them to watch?
Miss Marvel right off the
Yeah,
bat. Start with Miss Marvel because it's just
yeah.
man. Even if you haven't been in high school for years like my ass,
hmm
you still it still feels like like you're right there with her. Like even it's in these modern ass times, like some things just don't change. So
Honestly, you're right, and I know it's two different vehicles for storytelling, but I would venture to say that Miss Marvel felt more like a teenage superhero young kid, and it's not to pit them against each other, but I think even more than Spider-Man. And it could just be the nature of a big 2-hour movie versus because when they had the little like ragtag group of kids defending the school, like in the school, like that felt very
Hmm.
80s. That felt very like just young oddball fun. And again, I'm
Yeah.
not saying it to put her against Peter because that's an entirely different story. But I think because she is so new, you're able, one, she's new, she's Pakistani, which you don't in American TV. I cannot recall seeing a full Pakistani
Mm,
family on TV in a lead role where you are
not at
following
all.
them in their culture and customs. So that's so all in all, I'm with you. I would also say if I had to choose, pick Miss Marvel because one, you're getting a full ride. You're getting
Hmm.
which I don't know if this was intentional or if it's just by way of the character Miss Marvel from the comics. But I think with all of the vitriol that Carol got, Brie got from the first Captain Marvel and her subsequent appearances in the MCU after, having Miss Marvel Kamala Khan be such a fan of hers and be this animated, outgoing young teen with this artistic ability who writes fanfics, it almost to me kind of cut at some of the negative fanboy reviews about Brie Larson and her performance because you have this character who is just enamored with her, and so much so that she's pretty much built her superhero ness adjacent to this woman. I don't know. In a way that I don't think Tony and Peter, again, not to pit them against each other. I'm just comparing two in universe things, but in a way that Peter and Tony or Ant-Man and Cap, like those dynamics never they felt real, but hers feels genuine, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. It
No, you're
feels
right, man. You're right.
yeah. Oh, Miss Marvel is where it's at. So yeah, be sure to watch Miss Marvel, y'all. If for nothing else, I think it's one of the better. I think Miss Marvel and WandaVision are some top tier MCU offerings. Who? Okay, okay. So we have Lee's Carol, Monica, Kamala. I'll say Fury as a Jason because he was there. Side note: if I could get Sam Jackson's career, just a little bit of it, this man puts on badass suits and walks around cussing people out in the
Yep.
MCU. Like how
Yep.
that man got it made. That's what I want. Cast me as Young Fury, whatever I got to do. Uh, um,
Jesus.
so Ariel, Monica, Kamala, Fury, Darbin, the Kree, the Scroll, Kamala's family, Goose, Prince Yan, and of course the extras, the folks who were just there. And I brought them up for a very specific reason because I think something interesting happened with this film. So let's get into the characters. You can pick and choose or go down the list or whatever. But what's give me some thoughts? So the arcs, the jokes, the fighting, all of that. The characters. What we got?
Um, should just start with the villain first. A lot of
Yeah.
folks had a problem with the villain, and
Mm,
it's like, yo, what do you expect? It's a comic book movie. Well, not just a comic book movie in general. I mean, when's the last time you've seen a dope ass villain in this type of movie? I mean,
mhm.
for me, it was her name Ghost? Is that what they called her
Yes,
character?
and then
Ghost?
one. Yeah,
Yeah, from
I think
Ant-Man 2.
two. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
yeah, she
it's
was a bad one.
yeah. Yeah, like I
She
had
was
no I didn't it's it's a movie, y'all. I mean, I mean, what do you expect, man? You
it's a
know,
movie.
she had a motivation, which was
Hmm.
kind of backwards, but not
I mean,
really. You
look,
know,
she
it's a
said,
villain, yo. She was fine too. She
yes,
fine.
Zawe Ashton, that's her name, who played Darbian. I knew her, well, not knew her, but I met her through the show Fresh Meat, which came out in like the mid 2000s, maybe 2010, maybe about these college freshmen at university in the UK. And it's almost like think of Friends, but like grittier and younger and a little hipper with a little bit of Pip Pip Cheerio mixed in. And she was damn good in that. And her being Loki's wife, which that's something I found out quite literally, like
Wait,
maybe
whoa, 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 whoa!
that's Tom Hiddleston's wife.
Word?
Yeah, like that's all I was like. That's why when she died in the movie, I was like, damn, y'all better bring her back as a variant. I want to see them
What?
together whooping ass. Yeah.
Okay, Loki, damn.
Yeah, Tom Hiddleston and Zawe Ashton co-starred in productions of Betrayal. Da, 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 da. Ashton revealed her pregnancy in June 2022. Welcome their first
Ah,
child in October. Yeah, they're married, married.
good for them. Good for them.
Yes, indeed.
That's
Yes,
lovely.
indeed. Yeah, I love
Yeah,
her,
they
man.
should
I
have
love
gave more her. They should have gave her character more to work with. But hey,
her.
you know, not everybody can be Thanos.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the thing that I'm scared of with these movies. I think okay, let me talk to even the people who hated this movie. I'm fine with that. Whatever
Why?
you hate it, well, for conversation's sake. But because my thing is I guess people look back. Hindsight is 2020, and we look back
Mm,
on the start of the MCU like it was this golden thing that had this trajectory already planned from the start, and that's not it. And I feel like people are expecting the same Infinity Saga again, and it's like you're not going to get that same degree of story, and not that it's going to be worse stories, but hell, even every movie in phase 1 and 2 did not hit. They all weren't. So even if you don't like this movie and you hate these characters and whatever else, even if that's the case, you can't possibly think that, oh, it's just because they were these women, or oh, it's just because there's some queer representation or whatever. Like, again, look back on your faves. Like Thor, was it Thor Dark World? What was the first one? Thor wasn't great. It's still watchable. You know, I'll watch it to
Thor
get the
2
full
wasn't
story.
great. Get it
Yeah,
right.
they're running
Thor 2
that.
wasn't great. Okay.
Call it out.
No,
But yeah,
no, you're right about. I love the first Thor. Um,
mm-hmm.
but even though I don't go back to it, and if I do, I go to certain scenes.
Yeah,
It
that's
has
fair.
nothing to do with him shirtless. I don't go back to that scene at all. Why would I? That's terrible.
Yeah. Uh, get on it. But yeah, I don't know. So I just feel like people should really have your critiques. This is art. Like, have your critiques, whether you
Yeah.
are a hater or into diversity, whatever. Still have your critiques, but like I'm like still understand that even if you don't like this, that does not negate the impact of this movie, and also that we are now in
Hmm.
a multi-year decade timeline, not just in continuity, but in real life. This has been going on forever. So like
Yep.
let let's realize that some things are going to have to change. Also, we just got through a strike, which, like you said at the beginning, we gonna see what that fallout looks like. And then we're also coming off of
Hmm.
we were in a pandemic, and people having to change the way in which they consume and create media, even the big companies, like in 2019. So I don't know. I feel like folks are very surface level, or can be very surface level. Like, oh, my instinct is I don't like this, so this is bad. No, bitch, that's not what that means.
Yeah.
That means you don't like it. So the funny thing about that is when it's just comics and people are complaining like, oh, there's not enough representation, and then we get a book, a title, and it's like, oh, it's a 6 issue mini, or it's the 5 issue mini, or whatever, and then people are like, oh, I wish there was more, and then companies resort to race bending or gender bending, excuse me, a character. Now everybody comes out of woodwork hollering and screaming about make your own this, that, and the third. Okay, fine. That in mind, you average fanboy fangirl who's upset with diversity can just read whatever you want, and it'll be there because there'll
Exactly.
always be Superman, there'll always be Batman, there'll always be Spider-Man, they'll always be there. And the inclusion
Yeah.
of these characters of color, these characters who are diverse and whatnot, now that becomes an issue. And I bring up comics because in comics you have the choice. I can walk in and choose which book I want. When it comes to live action, there is so much more intentionality behind it, where I
Hmm.
can say, "Oh, I'm a fanboy. I don't like Black Wonder Woman, Nubia. I don't like Black Superman." So I could just read this, and that's fine. But when it's now no longer well, there's still comics, but when the focus now is live action and you have to watch this thing to understand this other thing, that choice of simply ignoring the titles with the black faces and the Asian faces and the diverse faces and the whatever else, that's a choice you can make going into the comic shop. You can't make that choice when the trailer's in your face all day every day, when it's the big blockbuster movie, when there's so much buzz surrounding it. So it's like this machine that you're so happy with, phase one, case in point, now has changed and it looks like more of the makeup of the people who watch this shit. And you can't escape it. You can't just go to the movies and only see Batman and only see Superman, and only see Captain America, because now all these browns and queers and disabled and all these different religions is coming
Mhm.
up here mucking up. Well, shit. Well, just go back to just reading your 60s, 70s era comics and just read that and let that be that, because it's
Yeah.
the fact that these Pakistani families stole the show for me. This whole movie, you could have just called it Miss Marvel and her two adult chaperones. Like, you could have just called it that,
Could have
because
been
that,
Miss Marvel and Friends.
no, truly. So I don't know. I mean, it's like people gonna have their thoughts and they're gonna be upset and frustrated, and whatever. And I will say I think everyone is entitled to their opinion. So even if I don't agree with it, fine. But like also, I'm doing a little bit more work on myself when it comes to reviewing stuff, because I'm like, just because I don't like it, don't mean that it's inherently bad. That's never been my issue.
Exactly.
I can talk all day long about, oh, it's nothing but white men in comics, but if I read a Batman comic, I can enjoy it. I'm not gonna be like, oh, Bruce Wayne's still white. Yes, girl, he is. That's okay. Like, I'm not mad about it. So I don't know. Shit's weird. Shit's weird.
It's hella
It's
weird.
fucking
It's
weird.
hella weird.
Ugh.
It would be a good time to get this physical media, and I'm glad Disney caved in and started
Mm-hmm.
releasing. Now it's slow, but hopefully they start releasing all of their shows that they've been putting out on Disney Plus on
Yeah.
Blu-ray and
That'd be
whatnot,
smart.
which is why I will be buying, first two seasons of The Mandalorian and
Mm-hmm.
WandaVision, and I would buy
Mm-hmm.
Miss Marvel if they put it out. I
Mm-hmm.
will be buying Loki season 2 if they put it out. Get your physical
Mm-hmm.
copies, yo. There's no telling how long this shit is gonna be available for us to view, because they could
Yeah.
always turn that shit off.
This is true. This is true.
Talk about Kamala's mom,
Yes, let's. Yes.
because she makes me very happy. I love that actress, and she's such a sweetheart. She's on
Yeah.
Twitter thanking everybody. I'm like, thanks, Mrs. Scott. I know that's not your real name, but thanks, mom.
So yeah, her mom, I think for me, she was golden. Like
Yep.
she frustrated me in the show, and that is not a bad thing. She frustrated me because the show did such a good job at making me root for Kamala. She was the audience
Hmm.
surrogate, of course. This is her world.
Hmm.
And so when her mother did things to frustrate her, I was like, God damn it, mama, why are you doing this? Let this girl go to this party. Let her wear this outfit. So to experience that and to like fall for her in that way, the actress, and then see her return, like I don't know what it is, but that family has like imprinted on me. Like that collective, seeing that, and it may have something to do again with
Man,
not having seen a um Pakistani family in this light before on TV, anyways. But I just want to see them again. It could just be a regular sitcom. We don't need no powers. I just want to see them.
please.
What y'all got going on?
Exactly. And plus, one of my favorite characters from the Miss Marvel comics hasn't even been introduced yet.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I'm looking forward to that. We
Yeah.
we I want to see more of the interaction between the brother and his wife, because they're fucking cool in the comic. Like,
Yes.
I need all the things, man. I need all
Yeah.
the things. I also need them
No,
to
absolutely.
hurry to no, actually no, I can't talk about that yet.
Nope.
I almost said something, but I'm gonna wait,
Mm,
because this has a lot to do with the mid credit scenes. I'm gonna
oh
wait.
yeah, yeah. We
I'm
we
gonna
got
wait.
we got
But,
that.
but yeah,
Um.
oh God, bless the family, bless the actors playing them.
Mhm,
Well, not
mhm.
all of them,
Yeah.
everybody except the
Most.
daddy.
No. But yeah, that is so interesting. Like their whole setup. I don't know. I think the introduction of this character and having Kamala, because she's very important in the comics. Um, and having Iman be so, or Iman, I think it's pronounced Iman. Um, if not, listeners, let me know in the comments. Having her be such a fan of the comics themselves, where I saw some clips of her like talking about going back and forth with Kevin Feige about certain things. One of which was like trying to make the MCU live action Earth distinction of 616. She's like, I'm not having that. Like that. That was a beautiful little like clip of her. She's like, this it doesn't make sense. It's not user friendly. New people will get confused. I'm like, yeah, all right,
I
girl.
thought it was. It feels like isn't that more of a an issue with Sony though
Well,
in
probably.
terms of numbering?
Yeah. Well, I'll say compared to Marvel, yeah, because Marvel has a distinction for the live action. There's a distinction for every Earth, but I don't know where this switch of trying to make it the 616 came from. But to me, that does not make sense. That doesn't make sense. You're pulling from so many different storylines, making the
Yeah,
movies that you want to see from the stories on like. Why trying to make this a 616?
probably so it can get as close to Secret Wars as possible in the comics.
Well, figure it out and make it do what it do another way. I would even be okay
Exactly.
if
Yeah.
you converged and then made the new, like whatever rebooted universe happens with, stuff associated with the mid credit scene and all of that. Make that going forward. Now this is
Yeah.
the official, but even that, I'm like, nigga, just
Because
just do what
um,
you're doing.
yeah, I honestly don't think you can. Well, I mean, I don't work in Marvel, not
Hmm.
yet. But
Hey,
if
speak
they're
on it.
really right, if they're going in this direction that I hope they're going, especially with
Hmm.
Secret Wars,
Hmm.
again, mid credit scene. I gotta save that for
All right.
mid credit scene
Well,
because
we
I
could
think
just
it's heading towards that. Well, I hope
yeah,
it's heading towards that. I
yeah.
mean, they already hinted at it, but
Hey, we're
numerous
gonna see.
times.
We're gonna see. Tell
Yeah.
me, I know we mentioned Darbin, but I'm just how do you feel MCU overall when it comes to villains? How do you feel about the villains versus the heroes? Like, do you feel like the
Uh,
time and energy put into heroes is the same for the villains, even though some of them might be
yes,
one off sometimes?
yes and no. I think it really has to do with probably definitely who's directing because so far the
Hmm.
best villain in these phases so far
Hmm.
has been Shang Chi's daddy.
Mm. Okay. Okay.
But plus, there's no way you cast the legendary Leung and not let him cook.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah,
So
I don't know.
that's the best villain to me so far. So far,
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I was just thinking when Darby ultimately met her demise, I was
they warned her.
annoyed.
They fucking warned you.
Yeah, they
And
did.
what'd
They
you
did.
do?
Did what they said don't do. Especially after we was
Mhm.
like, girl, we made a pact. We said we said we was gonna help restart the sun. But I also admire that about her. I think for me, that's where the story I don't want to say fell apart, but I felt like had this have been a series, well, and that's always the case. If anything is a series, you get more time with characters and whatever. But I felt like we needed a little bit
Mhm.
more time with Darby to make some of these choices not make sense because I understood it with the character, but I was like, girl, I know it's sacrifice over everything, but like I didn't the desperation didn't land for me. Like the desperation to like get this revenge and get my shit going. I still admire her, girl. Black women in science and STEM. Do it. Get it done. But like also, like sis, read the room.
like,
Um,
like
yeah.
you're defeated. Like you were defeated, and then you pull that bullshit. But hey, hey, writer had to do something.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I hope we get her back. I hope we do get her back, even if it's in a different capacity because of variants and multiverse and all that. I like Zawe. I think she's pretty
Uh,
good.
well, we
Um,
gotta see the direction they're going in now, man. Cause yeah, it don't look like Kang Dynasty happening.
Yeah. I'm.
which makes no
That's
fucking
partly,
sense.
and I guess for me, it is unfortunate, because I enjoyed Jonathan, before when he was, I was like a fan. I was diehard. You can look at my old
Yeah,
tweets and
same.
everything.
Yeah, I
So,
was thirsting over that motherfucker too. Then you find out this shit. Then I'm like, man, come
yeah,
on. Like, come
but
on, dude.
I think it's a lesson that needs to be learned, I guess, by the studio is that you're going through and doing this, and you're banking on these characters, which I guess you've always done, even prior to comic book movies. But maybe you need to try to do a shorter run. Like, if, let's say, for example, let's live in a world right when Ant-Man came out, before the real life stuff with Jonathan. I like, how long was this contract? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like if you, and I'm just speaking purely off the dome. I don't have the research to back this up. But if you are going to have someone who is so pivotal, and we've moved past 2008, we've moved past the Infinity Saga. Where is the 3 movie or even 3 movie 1 series deal where it's short enough that if you want to continue going, you'll keep going. But if you run into some shit like what happened, you can pull out without it feeling so messy. Because now, unlike a regular, like, Fast and the Furious franchise, we're just releasing movies when we feel like it. You're dealing with continuity being a whole nother character in every
Bruh,
movie.
they went to space. Continuity's out the fucking window.
Well, no, I'm talking about with MCU. But what I'm saying is, like,
Oh,
Fast and Furious, you can just release them and do whatever. Like, that's not a movie that's not a franchise that you have all these pre-existing books and properties and have to do. Even with Disney cartoons, if you want to make another installment of The Little Mermaid, the cartoon one from the 90s, you can just do it. You're not beholden to decades of continuity, and that's not a good or a bad thing. But what I'm saying is, like, you could say Halle Berry could be Ariel for 3 movies. You can even say give her a 10 movie deal or whatever. And if she fuck up some kind of way, now you left with them 10 movies. Where is the, like, let's get this motherfucker to be the big bad for 3 films? Or like they did with Thanos, let's have this CGI looking something so that eventually we can cast this. But I don't know. It just seems odd that, because people age, people get, like, you're not getting these fools at like 15 and 20. You're getting them in their 30s and 40s. Like you said, Tom ain't trying to be Loki for the rest of his life. I know Elizabeth ain't trying to be Wanda forever. So, mm, I don't know. I
well, with the
don't
way that
know.
fucking movie ended, Jesus.
I'm so disgusted with that damn movie. I don't think it delivered on its promise, Multiverse of Madness. I feel like it did a decent job, but all of the exciting things that we saw in the movie were things that were already from the trailer.
Oh,
I did.
okay, that was the director I was talking about. Yeah, Sam Raimi just went in there and just
Yeah,
said, fuck it. Because the Wanda we got in that show was just nowhere to be found in that fucking movie.
that was 613 Wanda, because that was that was not WandaVision, which was so weird because this was a direct sequel to WandaVision. Like, what are we talking about? So I don't know, man. I don't know. Any other characters you want to? Well, I would like to give a very special shout out to that big black motherfucker with the beard and that tight ass white suit. I was like, oh, they got the run, them motherfuckers. They got them. So I was like, hey, this is what I want to see.
This is what I want to see. This is what I want to see. This is what I want to see. This is what 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 this is what
This is what
I
this is what.
thought you were. I thought you were gonna talk about Carol Danvers' singing ass husband.
Oh no, him too. Him too. Like, go. You give me some feedback on Prince Yan. Prince Yan.
No, I'm like, hey, I like where this is going. Okay, you're a very handsome.
Yo,
You're a gorgeous individual. Like, okay, I
very
might
much
have to
so
look the
indeed.
other way now before I start blushing. Like, is he on the
Yeah,
screen yet? Ah, ah. But nah, there was a
yeah,
lot of fine people in this movie. A
yeah,
lot of fine
yeah.
people. I mean,
Honestly,
the
yeah.
lady who was working next to that big dude you was talking about. She was
Yes,
fine.
yes. I said, look at her with these brains.
Yes.
Look at her.
A lot of adorable cats, not sure which was real and what was digital.
Right.
Couldn't really tell. Just all
Hmm.
these flirkins.
That was such
Uh,
a cute. Yeah. Ugh, but yeah, Prince
as far
Yan,
as
that movie.
characters go, yeah. As far as characters go, that's all I can think of at the moment. Other than
Yeah, that's
yeah,
pretty much it. I mean, everyone. I think everyone served their purpose. Everyone did a really good job in their role. Um, there's not really anyone. The one guy who had me a little confused, and that's what I'm thinking. Like, there has to be some scenes that are left on the cutting room floor. But Darby and the white guy who was like her henchman. Not to say I
oh
needed to
yeah,
see more of them, but that their whole it almost felt like he wasn't needed at all. Either he
he
wasn't
was
needed at
just
all, or we
he
needed to
was
see
just
a little bit
there.
more. Yeah, because I was like, he was like, yeah, it's too intense. She's like, well, if I die, I die, damn it. I'm like, damn girl, who is this man? Is this your lover? Is this your henchman? Like, who is this motherfucker?
He was something.
Um, yeah, I mean, he was cool. He was cool for what he was. Aesthetically, like he fit in with all the other shit. So kudos to him for that. But I think Prince Yan and not Aladdin, right? Or Aladdin or whatever. How it sounds like Aladdin. I enjoyed that. Between that and Kamala's like fan fiction, cartoon, comic stuff, it felt like that's part of the,
I'm,
the parts that made this fun. And I
yeah,
not
I'm glad they kept
expecting
that
that.
going.
Yeah, yeah. Kudos to her, and kudos to the artist, whoever actually like animated that, because animators is in some shit too. They dealing with some shit too. So
Bruh.
kudos and shout out to them. Yeah, but that's really all I have. Jan and his bilingualness was very interesting, and I wonder any of you true nerds out there who know it all, if Aladdin or Latin, whatever Latina is that an actual place in the Marvel comics? I did not look into it at all. I just thought it was interesting that they sang, and by still speaking English but not singing it, you sound like you're speaking another language. That was quite interesting. So shout out to you
Hey,
nerds who know the answer to that. Okay. What else you got? You can anything movie related at all, then we'll move into the illustrious scenes of end and mid.
um, no, that's all I got for the movie
Right
itself.
there.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. So let's first stop at not necessarily end credit scene, but like the end of the movie, where now Kamala is taking on the role of child killer. What's up? Give me some thoughts, man. Give me some thoughts.
Man, I had to contain myself in the
Hmm.
theater, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone heard me say, "No fucking way!" Like it's like I was trying to contain myself because I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, okay, oh shit, it's Kate Bishop. She's just chilling. Oh
yeah,
shit, Kamala Khan is there. She's saying the exact same thing.
yeah,
Samuel L. said to Ronnie down words.
yep,
I'm that
yep.
excited.
We
She said the
know.
same thing. He said to Iron Man fucking
Yeah,
10 years ago.
yes. Which is just so dope because it's Young Avengers. We know it's coming. We know it's coming.
Yeah, but part of me wants it to be champions because I love that comic
See,
more.
I okay. I wonder. Okay, I don't. I think there's a world in which we get champions, but I don't think that's going to be main continuity um, for quite some time because I feel like they got a lot of. It's like when MCU first started. You have some toys that you've set up. We've seen Patriot. We've seen Kate Bishop. We've seen
Yep.
Wiccan and Speed. We've seen
Yeah.
them. We know that you got to age them motherfuckers up. But I think
Hmm.
that it's Marvel. You kind of paint yourself into this continuity hole, not even intentionally, but just by nature of following these stories. And there's just an order to things. Like you've already set up the Young Avengers, unless maybe you have the Young Avengers, and maybe 5-6 years from now they change their name to the Champions because they're disillusioned with the Avengers, like it was in the comic.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Hey, side note,
Yeah,
did MCU got the rights back to Hulk finally, right?
I believe so. And nerds, let us know if we're incorrect, but I believe so. Um,
Because if
but
they did,
again,
where my boy Amadeus at?
that would be ooh, that would be oh my god,
Like
bro.
I know they we got to see Hulk's son at the end
Mm-hmm.
of what was it, She-Hulk, which better get a
Mm-hmm.
second season for reasons. Um, um, but I want my boy Amadeus, man.
Yeah, it. Now, that's the thing. It's one thing to read comics and like this is my favorite comic, this is my favorite character. Oh, they doing my character wrong. And again, going back to the fanboy fangirls analogy from before, we could just go into the comic book store or go online and just read what we want and talk about it. But
Yeah,
now that we're watching these people act out these stories live and these changes that have been made, and then maybe one of your faves isn't included, maybe one is, and whatever else, it is so frustrating. It is so frustrating because, like,
yeah.
I am a Generation X purist. I'm a Generation X fan. I do not want to leave this earth before the Generation X live action gets made. But I know we have at least X
What
Men,
do you
New
mean?
Mutant, X
You,
Factor,
you,
X Force,
you had that you had that
and I love that.
classic early
I don't
'90s
care. I
movie
don't care.
from Fox.
I love that. I know you. I know you and the rest of the world got some jokes. I do too. But I love that fucking movie because I'm
No,
so
it's
desperate for
terrible, but I love it, and they need to release
it.
that shit in 4K.
My God, because I would watch that grainy shit with every ounce
Well,
of
not even
love I
that.
got in
If
me.
I can find a fucking DVD, I'll buy it.
Come on, DVD, Blu-ray, VHS, give me
Exactly.
something. I want that shit.
Yeah.
I love that fucking movie. But yeah, but I know that it may never come, or it might come when I'm damn 60 years old, and now a motherfucker that's young enough to be my
Bitch, we will
grandchild is
still be in the
playing it.
motherfucking theaters watching that
Oh,
shit.
you think I
Just
won't?
like I'm gonna be in my 80s still playing whatever Call of Duty's out.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. So I'm hoping for it, but I think we may get champions treatment to a Young Avengers um title, but I also think, and this is just call me crazy, I think we're getting Young Avengers the Children's Crusade because Wanda is quote unquote dead. We're getting real life, and when I say real life in continuity, real life Wiccan and Speed when all the
Mhm.
Avengers are together and they're gonna go find their damn mama. And however else the mid-credit scene factors in, it factors in. But I think we're getting the Children's Crusade. That's just me. I think
Now, are we gonna get this shit before or after Secret Wars though?
during, I don't know. The way this shit is going, it's gonna be set in the '90s with Captain Marvel. Who the hell knows?
Yeah.
Because
And when are we getting Patriot? Like, are we gonna get Patriot in Captain America 4? Like, when are we getting Homie? Because they already
that
setting him up.
I
In
need to see
fact,
more of that movie working.
ain't the actor bulking up for that
Yeah,
movie?
well, he was. I know earlier this year, I got a couple photos. Like I've done little marketing stuff for that episode of Patriot that I did, which I'll actually link that in the show notes if you'd like to listen to my Eli Bradley Patriot, and there was another one. Yeah, I'll link those. But yeah,
Yeah,
he was getting
plug your
close.
shit. Hell yeah.
That boy wasn't playing. He was like, "Yeah, you gonna see me in these streets, motherfucker." Yeah.
Doing all
I
my
can't
shots. I'm doing all my stunts.
listen. Yeah, because he's doing some things. So kudos to that young man. I truly don't know where we go from here as far as the end credit scene was concerned. Like because I've been away from Marvel and everything really for so many months, getting back into the groove of things. Um, I I just don't know. Everything is just brand new and a surprise to me. So I don't know. I don't know where we go. Where do we
So,
go from here?
wherever we go, uh, Miles Morales better be there. Live action Miles.
So
Um,
yeah.
and while I don't want Sony to do it, because Jesus, I'm gonna be nice. No, I'm not. No, I'm just not gonna say anything because there was a
Okay.
trailer that came out
Mm-hmm.
recently, and I just have
Mm-hmm.
no interest in watching it. at
Wow,
all.
really? Really? And I know what you're talking about. Really?
Yeah, which sucks because I like the actress. Couple of the other folks in
Mhm.
there. It's like, yeah, I'm just if it's on streaming, I'll watch it. Like that shit pops up on No, wait, what streaming service
Mhm.
does Sony movies fall under? It's not
I think
Peacock,
it's
right?
just
Because that's Universal. Whatever.
no, no.
Oh wait, it'll be Stars, which I don't
Oh,
have because that's where
oh,
Morbius was for a little bit,
oh, which I've never seen that, but
and the Venom movie. So I'm like, yeah, like and just the Craven movie. I'ma watch it, even though it looks dumb as hell and just
mm.
unnecessary.
Oh no.
And they like so. I really want Sony to stop, but they're not gonna stop because these movies keep making money for some reason, even if they get memed to death.
I mean, that's part of it. No, that's the meme culture.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if they,
Was that
yeah. But if, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
no, no, go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say if they do, because both sides have been hinted that they want to do live action Miles.
Yeah.
They better go. That better be the same goddamn deal. Okay, just Sony putting up the money and
Hmm.
distributing, but it's still coming out. With the MCU and whatnot. That's the only
Yeah.
way I'm. Why am I saying that? Like I have a say. That's another problem we have as humanity. Making all these goddamn demands. We're not the
Yeah.
ones cutting the check. Like I can say
No,
these. I can
we
say all the
is
shit I
cutting
want
the
and
check.
need.
We is
True,
cutting
but
the check when we pay them ticket prices.
that is true. Then I wish they'd listen
Oh
and stop making these side movies without Spider-Man.
yeah. Mm-mm. You know what?
I'm,
I gotta give you
maybe it'll
some
be good.
pushback. I gotta give you some
Go ahead,
pushback. 'Cause
please do.
I like the idea that Sony is in the same position that Marvel was in 2007. You have a limited number of characters to work with, and even though that movie may not be good, I'm still going to see it. But even if it's not good, I feel like they just need a better team because even if you only have the villains, with the way in which media has evolved over the years, you should not be hitting fucking
You know what?
curveballs with this.
You want to know when
Come
these
on.
Sony movies will start getting better?
What?
When
When?
two of the main figures
Mm,
responsible for putting out this bullshit.
mm. That,
Okay, I'm trying to find a better
yeah,
word.
I'm like,
I'm trying to find a better
I
word.
get what you're putting down, but
When
yes,
when they retire,
yeah, no, 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 I hear you.
because when that fucking Legend of Zelda movie was mentioned, I was so excited until I saw a producer's name that I do not like.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild that you'll get something like that where it doesn't seem like there's really been care put into it. It's like, oh, throw money and a big name at it and let that be that. I'm hoping for better with this new movie, mainly because I feel like I have thoughts now that I've sat with the trailer for a while. I still am going to watch it, but I just feel like Sony is in a position to do some things that other studios haven't really had to do. And instead of just relying on the big name that's the draw, actually do some good work with the characters you have. So when you do fold this man back in, but I don't think that's what's happening because I would like to know what is the goal for the next 5-10 years, not like as a fan let me know so I can go see everything, but like quite literally, what does it look like for you with the properties you do have? Are you creating a interconnected story? Are you just doing one-offs? Like what is everything doesn't have to be MCU, but you at least can do this stuff the justice it deserves if you're going to tell this spider story without the spider,
They
so
are doing what they've been doing, just like
mhm,
countless other studios were doing before their brights went back. We're putting this
mhm.
bullshit out just to hold on to a little something so we don't have to give them rights back. I don't know if that's the deal with Sony, but look, Daredevil back, Hulk back, X-Men came back.
Get right into it. Get right into it.
Due to them becoming a fucking monopoly,
Right.
which I'm still
Segue.
excited for. But I'm like, why did that really happen? And I'm still
Mhm.
looking at Microsoft
Mhm.
sideways with that whole Activision deal. But at the
Yeah.
same time, it's like, hey, I won't have to buy Call of Duty anymore because it's going to be on Game Pass probably years from now. But until
Mhm.
Sony shapes the fuck up, they're going to continue to have a lot in common with both their animation department and DC's department,
Mhm.
animation department, where they will continue to get outshined by said departments.
Mhm. Yeah. We'll see.
Because
We'll
for
see. I'm just
every
trying yeah.
because for every one good film that they have,
Mhm.
there are several animated classics, or in Sony's case, across the Spider Verse.
Yeah. Get
Well,
out of
their
here.
Spider Verse series, but with
Yeah.
DC, it's like okay, they only had a couple. I mean, what the Suicide Squad was the shit, but
Mhm.
there's still like 5, 6, 7 other DC movies that are animated movies that are way better than the movies they put out
Mhm.
recently.
Yeah. I
So
don't
we will
know.
see
They
what
gotta get
happens.
it in.
We'll see what
They
happens.
gotta
Hey,
get
you let me know how that movie is. I'm not watching that
yeah.
shit.
Oh, I am. I got to. I got
Uh,
to.
which
It feels so camp. It feels so. It feels like the CW decided to do a
yo,
dark and
did you?
gritty film. So yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
use your comment to segue to the mid credit scene because that is
Oh
really
my
where a lot of my
fucking god.
conversation is. Take it away. You go. Just take it away.
Oh my
Take it
fucking
away.
god. I did not think they were gonna do this shit that soon, but they
So
did, god
okay,
damn it. They
okay. Oh shit.
fucking did.
Yes, they did. Okay, so let me set this up and I'm gonna kick it to you.
To quote a rapper I can't stand, the
Oh
real is
shit.
back.
Say that. Say that. Motherfucker. Been gone for a minute now. I'm back with the X genes. So we get, which I feel okay. So in the movie, I feel like I knew this was going to happen, where
It was gonna happen this
Kamala.
soon.
Oh no, not that. Just with
Oh, okay.
Monica. So with Monica having to repair. First of all, give shout out to Tiana. Shout out to Monica. Monica having to repair a tear in the universe. Bitch, what? What the fuck you mean? What do you mean? This ain't no low level. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Daredevil, Spider Man, whatever. But this ain't no damn street level hero. This motherfucker is
Nah,
repairing the fabric of the multiverse. My God.
a
So,
cosmic being. Oh, she
bruh.
is a fully cosmic being now, showing off
Woo,
like that,
very
saving y'all
much.
asses.
Ugh, black women doing it again. Thank you, black women in
Exactly.
film.
Exactly. Thank
She
you.
killed it. So
If no one
when
else is
she
gonna thank y'all, I'll thank y'all. God damn
yes
it.
indeed. When she started repairing the actual tear, I knew because I watch movies. I consume so much movie and TV. Like, duh, she's not going to make it back on our side. But when she repaired it, maybe it's Nia DaCosta did a good job of like making me get immersed in the movie because I was like, God damn it, Carol, hurry the fuck up, go grab her. So she repairs the fabric in time, but of course she's on the opposite side, so she cannot get back on our side. She says her goodbyes. It closes up. We open up on this mid-credit scene
Mhm.
with beautiful Monica laid in the hospital bed, stark white room with a
Mhm.
blanket on her. She wakes up and freaks out in all the best ways because, as someone who has also lost this very particular family member, I would have lost my shit.
Exactly.
She sees her mother. She sees her mother, and I'm not even gonna hold you
Her
if I
fine
can get
ass mother.
personal. I mean that for sure. I I lost it. Now I'm an adult. I'm a grown person who can manage my own emotions. But I think because I have lost my mother as well, um, and the role that family and motherhood played in Monica's upbringing, both in the MCU,
Mhm.
and Carol being a reminder of like my mother went through this, we went through this, you weren't there. Like all of that kind of compounded made this a movie that was kind of tailor made for me. So when she woke up and saw her mom, yes, I was excited because I'm in the movie, but like it really gave me this like, oh shit, if I could wake up in another universe and my mama laying there with this new haircut, I'm gonna act the fucking fool too. So her mom's there.
Mhm.
She looks at Monica like, girl, you crazy? What the fuck going on? And then a very familiar voice and then face walks in the room. Now I'm gonna throw it to you. I'm gonna go to you.
Yo,
I'm gonna throw it to you.
yo,
Give it to us.
yo. I did
Yes.
not think they was gonna do that. I did not think
Woo!
they were going to do that. But
Come on.
let's be real.
Come
Ever
on.
since the motherfucker was fan casted, you remember Wizard magazine back in the day?
Yes. Yes.
I don't know if they picked Kelsey Grammer for the role, but even when he showed up in X3, like X-Men
Yeah.
3, common fucking sense. You hear that
Yeah.
voice and you think, oh shit, Beast.
Yes.
So to
Yeah.
hear that motherfucking voice in the cutscene, and
Say
all
it.
it is CG glory, which
Say it.
which I know folks are having that debate online still, like, oh, why couldn't he put on the suit? How old is Kelsey Grammer right now?
Also, we don't know what the fuck this be. We don't know where these people is a continuity. It might be some shit we don't even know about.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not
Exactly.
expecting that. But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But oh my god, it was just so good to hear
Yeah.
that voice and
Yes.
to see him in the CG thing, kind of not really looking like his X-Men 97 self, but kind of looking like
Yeah.
him a tiny bit. I guess they gotta get to work on the hair
Yeah.
and whatnot.
Oh, he had done
But
that. Yeah.
yeah, but it was just so good to hear that voice. And then when Monica realizes where she is, and then the camera pans out, and you see
Yeah.
that they're in the motherfucking mansion.
Yes. Yes.
If I could
Yeah.
fly, I would have flew through the fucking roof of the theater,
There we go.
and I would
There we go.
owe AMC some money.
Fuck them. No. No, yeah, don't do that.
Like,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yo, I'm
Yeah.
sure everyone's like collective minds and loads were lost. Think of that like GIF you keep seeing from a certain scene in South Park. That was a lot of fans
Yeah.
seeing the Beast pop up on screen, just like just loads
I
everywhere.
shouted.
Just
I shouted. I was in my theater and it came out unintentionally. Like I was excited. I saw a gif of Maria standing up, and people were like, "Oh, that might be Storm," because you know that very quick scene where she stood up, and from the camera angle, it showed Monica's face, and then her uniform. It kind of looked like Storm, but not. I never thought that was Storm. When that happened, I made a noise that I was just again being a fucking kid in the 90s watching the damn cartoon you watch on TV all the time in theater. It fucked me up. I was like, oh my god, this is Dean's 3 minutes, maybe 2 minutes of whatever this is. I needed it. I needed that. I need these characters, Frankie. I need them. No, so
yeah.
That was damn good. That was damn good. And the fact that Maria has been Captain Marvel more than Brie Larson, more than Carol has been Captain Marvel. This is the second universe that we have gotten her as Captain Marvel. So
yeah, that black suit she had in Multiverse of Madness though was still my favorite.
Yeah, and I don't particularly like this one, not even because of live action. Like I don't even like that costume in the comics, to be quite honest. But I'm looking at that, and that's why I say we don't know, because these X-Men could very well be in the 70s in that universe. They may not be contemporaries in the same way. Like time may not move the same. So us getting her in that uniform, because wasn't that uniform from the late 70s, early 80s? That was an old ass uniform.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens from this point forward, and Carol Danvers, she might need to be extra careful because of a certain young lady
Bruh.
from New Orleans catches up with her.
Look, look,
She
that
might
white
not
woman
have the
gonna whip
powers for
your
much longer.
ass. Yeah, so that is interesting. That's another part of like this is so exciting because in the early 2000s it was exciting because it was brand new. Then you got used to it. Now it's just a way of life. And this movie reignited my excitement for MCU period. And with there being so much unknown with the multiverse, I know we have the multiverse saga. I understood the different variants and all that. I didn't really care truly in the grand scheme of things. I'm like, it's just a way that you can swap out actors. But now that we've quite literally seen the multiverse ripped open in a way that we didn't see in Multiverse of Madness, not that it was done poorly, but something about seeing a physical hexagonal rip in space and then seeing what's on the other side is very interesting and exciting because we don't know what comes next. Beast and this Captain Marvel could very well just be running the school with the New Mutants. We might not, it may not be
Exactly.
X-Men proper. So,
Yo, wouldn't it
what's
be
up?
funny if
Tell
the
me.
New Mutants from that movie showed up?
That's what I want. I'm sorry, I don't like whitewash Roberto, but I still want at least
The
as
rest of the
variants. I
cast.
want to see them. I want to see, yeah, but now let me be clear, that's not what I want for those characters going forward. But I would like some fan service to tying in all the other properties where you can just retcon all of that was in continuity just in another universe. I like that idea because I'm a nerd.
Yeah.
But like Anya Taylor Joy,
Yeah.
if they don't sign her for something,
Like
we
magic is right there, dog. Just
she
bring her
is
over.
phenomenal. And make her less racist. How about or no racist? Let's not be racist at all because that
Yeah,
was
let's get a
odd.
different version of her, please. I didn't
Yeah,
watch the movie, and I really don't want to. But that
you
was
don't
a
need to. You don't need
yeah.
to.
I heard
You know,
she was just hella racist. Like
yeah, which
okay,
that was a
and that
choice.
was the and that was the last Fox. That was the last Fox Marvel film, wasn't
Property.
it?
Mm-hmm.
Or was
Yeah, it
it
was.
Dark? Okay,
Oh, I got. Let's check on the timeline because I think it was. Well, yeah. I don't know.
it
Hell,
might have been because fucking Dark Phoenix came out before that shit.
yeah. So then that was it. That was officially the last one. Nerds, if
Yeah,
we're wrong for what, let us know. Shit.
yeah.
So.
Uh, it's still the only good thing about Dark Phoenix was that train sequence they reshot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That was the best thing about that movie. Like, please, I want to see Nightcrawler going off on motherfuckers. That was wonderful.
Yeah. It
Just
really
everything
is.
that happened on that train was cool until pretty much everything. Yeah, actually, yeah, just everything leading up to the end of that little fight sequence was
Mm-hmm.
cool. The rest of the movie can burn a fiery death along with
Oh
Diddy.
no. So tell me this. In a perfect world, now that we've opened up the multiverse and you've seen that there are X-Men in there, what what would you want for the MCU? Like what is your perfect world? We have the X-Men in the universe. What you get the keys to the toolbox. What is something that you want to see going forward?
This is what I want to see.
Uh, Probably what we'll get since Feige is running things. Because
Oh,
thinking about what the MCU would have been if
mm-hmm.
their former boss was in charge, that racist ass Trump loving piece of shit, Ike,
Oh,
whatever the fuck it is, if his
mm-hmm.
ass was still in charge, oh, the MCU would still be overly white male
Mm-hmm.
with a little bit of, you know, little bit of diversity sprinkled in. It probably just would have been Black Panther, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Not even everyone else in that movie, just Black Panther.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's all
Totally.
it would have been. But um, screen accurate Bishop would be nice.
Okay.
No dis
Okay.
no no disrespect to Lupin.
Mm-hmm. That brick.
Um uh dark skin Storm would be lovely. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, homegirl from American Gods is right there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What was her?
Yeah.
What was her character's name? Billquist. Bill.
Bellaquist.
Yeah,
Bellaquist.
I still say
Bellaquist.
her because
Cardi B.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I still say her because I love her. Or
Mhm.
just anybody talented in dark skin, please.
Yeah.
Give me a dark skin Storm.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Everyone else should be cake. Their biggest challenge is going to be casting Wolverine.
Yeah, I say leave that nigga alone. Like, give us some time without him. We got so much of him. Like, do we need that nigga
Some
again
short
right away?
Canadians they can cast.
Yeah. Daniel Radcliffe. No, that man's British. Okay.
Yes,
What's
and not Eggsy either. Even if
mm,
he is super talented,
mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
yeah, that's going to be their biggest challenge: casting uh Wolverine and maybe Cyclops. Because I'm not saying those are some big shoes to fill,
Mm-hmm.
but wait, he wasn't in. No, he wasn't in First Class. No, he wasn't. Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna be another good one too. Unless they just want to let Michael Fassbender run it back, which I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't be
He
mad at.
could. Yeah, that's the
I
one
would.
that
I
because of
wouldn't be
Magneto,
mad at it.
I wouldn't be mad at that either. Because I mean, just give him a little gray hair. Like I could see him. I would want a different Charles
Yeah.
though. I would definitely want a
You know
different
what's
Charles.
good thing. Okay, yeah. So that is their other hurdle. Cyclops, Wolverine, Storm, and Professor X is gonna be. Oh, and Jean too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
those you get those five right, you're golden.
Yeah, I don't know. I I want I want more realistic versions of these characters. Like, yes, comic accurate, like cast them accurately. But when I say real version, I mean like give me a Gambit.
Unknown.
Let it be. No, it could be a known or unknown. That's not really. I don't really care about that right
I
now
would
in this
like an
kind of.
unknown Gambit, like just like they did with Wolverine. Like go unknown, man. Make a star, man. Yeah, give
I
me a
want
Gambit I've
somebody
never heard
with an
of.
accent. Give me somebody who's an actual New Orleans native. Like, give me because I think we get Gambit, and we get like these regional characters. Like Colossus is Russian, and he speaks with a thick Russian accent, which there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like a lot of times it could be like this stereotypical thing, and not stereotype like, oh, you're being bigoted, but more or less like, oh, he's from New Orleans, he has this accent, and that's enough. No, I want somebody who's like of the culture of New Orleans, white Creole or the like, who can play Gambit in a way that feels authentic. If we're gonna get Russian Colossus, give me a motherfucker who's actually like Russian or spent time in like
Hmm.
give me something because I think the comics do a good job at giving you this mixed bag of different diverse folks, but they're not having traditionally been written by that same mixed bag of folks. That's why you get a lot of
Hmm.
problematic storylines. And I'm not even saying this to
Hmm.
like avoid problematic behavior, which we should be doing that anyways. But I think if
Hmm.
you're going to have mutants be this thing that anybody could be, it's just a gene that manifests or that activates. Well, then give me somebody who is a Southern Belle from Mississippi. Let me hear a Southern white woman be, or whoever, because Rogue's race is not, her power is not tied to her race, but whatever. Give me a very Southern, going with the wind ass accent on a real Southern woman. Give me, if we're gonna get Wolverine, I would love for it, like you said, for it to be an actual Canadian. There are so many characters like Dark Veil, excuse me, the drag queen character that was appeared in Cena's Iceman run. I think that first Iceman run. Give me that character and let it be an actual motherfucker who do drag. Because I think what gets lost are the minor details that to you, the viewer, if you're not in that community, it doesn't really matter. Like if there's a certain thing that drag queens all do, no matter who they are, and there's just a regular Joe Schmo writing this book, they might not catch that. But if there's a fucking drag queen who's like, bitch, when I tuck this happened, or when I put on this makeup, this happened, or whatever, give me that. Or if there's a Russian motherfucker who want to play um uh Colossus and there's something intrinsic to that experience, that's what I want. I want that nuance that might go over my head because I'm not in that community, but others will be able to point out, oh, you didn't get this because this is this and this is that. That's what I want. I just want more authentic, real world representation fully, not just here's the black, here's the gay, here's the girl, here's the disabled one, and I just want to see more.
Yep.
So yeah, that's that. So I don't know. So what you got? What you got for us? We're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing on up. But that I think is a phenomenal cast.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course.
Oh wait, I forgot to mention earlier the guy who was doing a majority of WandaVision will also be directing the Fantastic Four.
Really?
And if you're listening to this, y'all, and you haven't watched WandaVision yet, if you want to see why he got the job, you can watch him work his ass off on the first 2 episodes of Monarch Legacy of Monsters on Apple TV Plus if you got that.
But let these folks know where they can find you, or if you even want them to find you online, let them know where they can.
It's very easy to find me. Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. Hey Dee Sweets. That's Hey DEEDEE Sweets. If you happen to like photography, I have a photo IG at We Shoot Classics Fam. If you're on Blue Sky, again, Hey Dee Sweets. I don't use it that much. Even fucking Threads. I'm on Threads as well, which I'm kind of using a little more, but not really. Like, look, we all know Twitter is a fucking cesspool. I've been on that bitch for over 11 years. I can't let it go. What was the name of Too Short Sam album? I Can't Stay Away or some shit like that. That's me and Twitter. Like, I can't stay away. I'm gonna be on that bitch until it shuts down, which I hope it doesn't. Just fire him. But fucking fire Elon Musk. It's not that hard, yo. Fucking fire him. It's not hard. Same thing with WB. You want your problems gone, hire someone who gives a fuck about the company. It's that simple. And not a racist, egomaniacal piece of shit who's like hella MAGA.
Yeah, that's interesting times we live in. We're gonna see what happens from all this.
Yeah, but I'm gonna need some hauls because I did a lot more talking than I usually do. I've talked way too much this week. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
My brother, thank you so much
for
having me. It's like there's not too many people who can get me out here and talk some shit. So, like I said, whatever you need me to talk some shit about anything, you just hit me up and I will be here. That's what I do.
Well, guys, that has been the Marvels. Check me out on Twitter and on TikTok at Carefree Blurred, EGIG, and YouTube at Carefree Black Nerd. And if you must, email me at carefreeblacknerd@gmail.com. Give me your thoughts, views, opinions, comments, concerns, all that good stuff. Leave your opinions in the comments. If you say some stuff you don't agree with, or if you do, leave it in the comments. If you want to find us online, you want to talk your mess on the Twitter, use that hashtag CBNPod. And until next time, stay carefree, stay nerdy, stay geeky, and by all means, if you find yourself in an alternate universe and you see your mom or any other deceased family member, act the fool. Fuck it. What they gonna do? They can't whoop your ass. You know what I'm saying? And just explain what happened later. But yeah, all right, y'all.
I can't see my daddy though. Like he could stay in hell within any universe. That piece of shit. I hope he's dead in several universes, just like he is in this one.
Yes, I agree.
Guys, it's Super Suit Day. It's my test for the Super Suit. This is what we're doing for the hair. And here's she is. Super Suit. We have 2 sewing here. Sewing us in. Lindsay down here sewing. It's a whole situation. Look who's in her super suit. What? These are a little feeling for y'all. Super bad now. What do we do? What do we do? Get into the details.